floor plans, right? And in the floor plans, we pull from there sections. So you start with your building, you start with your floor plans, sorry, site plan, and you have your elevations on the site plan. And then once you go into the floor plans, now people are going to be like, well, maybe I want to see a section. So the tags are there. So the tags are going to the A4 sheets. A3 are the elevations, and A4 sheets. We're now requiring they're now requiring us to put in some wall section tags. So there's two ways to put the wall section tag, a wall tag. What a wall tag is to describe what the heck this is. All right, so this here is a wall type something, and it really should be, in this case, it should be uh, WI14. And I'm gonna make these distinctions so it's a little easier. Wall, interior, 1 hour, 4 inch stud. Wall interior, 1 hour, 6 inch stud. And then this will be, yeah, 1 hour exterior, wall exterior, 1 hour, 6 inch stud, right? And we'll do the same thing here. And so this is a sheet that used to be in the A8 series, um, because that's where you go into the details. But because the way the plan checker works, um, because of the way Plan Checker works, I have now brought them into the A0 series because they often look at this right before they look at the wall floor plans. So they have it. So now I've updated these conventions here. In the wall floor plan, um, we also have this. So I'm just going to update this too. So this is an update to the legend, which means that the legend now will reflect this on all the floor plans, but because this is just Browning, you'll need to go for Halder, open this up, copy the legend, and paste it into that and wipe that out because this is the latest version. In the floor plan legend, we're showing now the rated walls. We're making a distinction between a um, a rated wall, a unrated wall, and an unrated plumbing wall. Not sure if that's necessary, but the rated wall is going to be like this. And this wall, and I'm going to start making these changes so you'll see what I'm doing. I actually need to tell it a type mark. Each family has different identity tags, right? You can say this is a 2x6 wall that is got certain absorption or roughness or things like that used to calculate heat gains and other things. You can have a description. This is probably not the right description, so we're just going to delete it. I would rather have fewer things here than so like you can see this is the wrong description. I would rather have fewer things here because fewer things can go wrong. All right, so the assembly code is wrong. Where you see that, let's just delete things. Um, or we can do it right. Interiors, interior finishes, wall finishes, uh, interior construction partitions, fixed partitions. This is drywall with wood stud. So that's what it is. Okay, so the type mark is what we updated earlier. So it's wall, interior, and I know that the I and 1 looks the same, so that's not good. It's a WI16. Cool. All right, so now we are tagging it in the floor plan. I don't really need to tag it in the floor plan because there's a legend for it. But the plan checker is asking, so we do. We don't ask questions. Um, and I'm going to tag the exterior as well. And the exterior should be wall exterior 1-6 All right. So that's how we would find these things. And on other projects, you tag every single wall because every single wall is different, right? Like there's so many different things going on with these that they could be unique and different. So the reason why I haven't done this is because I want to keep it simple, simplified. I want to show as little information as possible, but the plan checker asks, so we'll do. What is a problem here is that this tag doesn't look right. Yeah, do you see that? It's we need to stretch it and fix it. So this is going to be like a little quick dive into families. So this here is I selected it. It says a tag, so I just searched tag, and it should probably be a wall tag. So then I'm going to go here and then edit the wall tag. It pops up a whole new family. And oh, there's actually a parameter on it. So let me go back and see if I can fix it through that. So I go to the wall tag, I do edit type. Well, I think this is a square parameter, which doesn't really help if I do 2. I think it just becomes a 2 square. So interesting. It's an interesting thing. I won't waste it. So what I'll do is if this is the width, I will make this one the height. All right. So I'm going to select this, and it says it's a parameter, and I'm going to make it. I'm just going to create a new parameter. I'm going to call it h. It's a type parameter versus an instance parameter. What that means is every single element is going to have the same type parameter, whereas other cases, every single element can have a different instance parameter. So I'm going to. This is so similar to what we have, so I'm just going to say. I'm wondering if there's a problem with this. I'm just going to save it generic. I wonder if there is a wall type tag. And so I pushed it back into the family. And now what I should be able to do is I should be able to come here in this edit. Oh, I probably should have made it into dimensions as well. So for the width, I think it's going to be maybe twice as that, so 1/2 inch. And now that looks better, right? And so tag TG allows me to do this. I'm not sure where the leader went. Weird. All right. And wherever possible, I like to stack these. And when I say stack, I mean like, it's like a perfect stack. You don't see it and it doesn't confuse you, but you have the 2 lines and that works. And we'll do the same thing here. All right. So that means this is all walls of whatever. A little bit of imprecision is fine. Here on a bigger project, a more complex project, every single wall is tagged. That means there's a tag here. And when there's a window, there's a tag here. Every single wall is tagged. Here, I'm just going to tag 4 walls. All right. Because too much information is not useful. We can also tag this. This is technically a 2x6. So this would be I should be able to do wall interior 0, 6. Wow, this thing's dumb. Sometimes it's dumb, so we do have to do little things like that. And that's kind of it. Maybe I put a plumbing wall behind this too. Now I'm thinking about it. Think. Let's do that. A plumbing wall, I'll show you in a second. I'll do this. This actually is a P now, right? Plumbing wall is WA4. So I'm going to just call this WA4. I made these numbers up, made these names up, whatever, right? It's like whatever. The plumbing wall here looks like this. There's already a wall behind it, and you're putting in. This is a base plan head, so there's a vertical portion. You're just putting some furring strips in front of that for the purposes of running plumbing lines underneath it. Shoot, is it A4 or A6? I need to check. This is a 6-inch, so it's actually WA6. The difference. So now we need to get into like what is a. Well, why do I say 6 inches or why do I say 4 inches, right? So I could do everything out of 4 inches. I could, but structurally I could. But here, for additional rigidity, I'm bumping it to 6. All right. For the exterior, for insulation, because I need the cavity gap, I'm bumping up to 6. In the plumbing elements, we could do them in 4, we can do them in 2, we can do them in half-inch frame. Literally, like I just want to veneer your wall substrate. Like if this is a wall here behind us, and we're like, okay, I just want to put like the cedar paneling that you see in real old homes, we put it right on top. But like if this wall's like little warped, we do these strips, we level them, and we shim them so it's flat, and then we put it on. That's like half-inch fur. With plumbing, we want to actually put pipes in there. So it's a function of how the size of those pipes. So the pipes are usually like half-inch, 3/4 inch for the supply, and then 2-inch, 2.5 inch for the waste. So for those, a 2x4 perfect. But when you're running a stack where you are doing running waste lines down, sometimes the waste lines can be 3 inches and 4 inches. And for this project, we may end up still doing 2x4. Like I'm giving them an option. We go to 6, just being safe. Because what happens here is, someone's have to core ahead at a time. And if they mess up by an inch, you don't want to hurt them and say, you know. So that's what those things are for. So this exercise is about wall tagging and wall types. So let's look at the other wall types we got here. What are wall types? What wall types are supposed to do is to communicate to the plan check of the contractor what is in the wall assembly. For the architect, all I care about is it's a 4-inch, it's interior, and it's rated, right? But other people care. So here on this side is, if you just look at the left side, you have some studs in the middle, you have one sill plate, and you have 2 top plates. And then you have your drywall running down, you have your uh, sealant. Just you want to good practice seal everything, and then you have your ceiling and you have your finished floor, which I haven't shown, and a baseboard, and then the finish. The finish oftentimes is just paint, but sometimes you can have nicer finishes. You can have wallpaper, you can have tile, you can have other things, right? On the other side, I have this quirk, which is the lightweight concrete floor. So a lot of projects, in order to do the floors, to make them more rigid, they throw down a layer of 1.5 inch or 1.25 inch or even 1 inch lightweight concrete uh, on top of the subfloor. And so then on top you add whatever your tile, your finished wood floor, or your separations, and then the finished panels on top. And that is called the finished floor. All right. And then so you have the similar thing. So where it's this, you need a little bit. So the drywall needs to be nailed in. So that's why you'll have another blocking, another sill plate. Okay, so that's a typical. Now, what you have here is a base view. There's different ways of showing this. A base view is like a section, you just look at the bottom. And then a head view is a section looking at the top. And then you can kind of squint at it and imagine the middle. A plan view is cut in to show you in case there's other tricky things, just that happens in plan, and then they'll show you there. All right. So in this project, we have, I had a 2-hour, right? You see WI 2-hour. I'm going to remove it because we don't need it. All right. We had a 2-hour. We have a 1-hour, and this is the stairwell, right? And then I have exterior walls. All right. Um, Normally, this sheet can have like 20 wall types easily. Yeah. And then exterior is a similar thing. Um, we have LSLs, we have, and then there's floor or slab, floor, and the roof floor details. Usually, floor is on a separate sheet. So, wall. So, but there are a lot more wall types. Okay, so this is just a quick mapping of some of the wall types I had envisioned. Um, a lot of the things are published, meaning I'm not making stuff up. Uh, because this is building science is the study of building materials, how things are put together, and how they function in real life. Those you have to be in order to know building science, you need to do deep dives into it, and it's not something that architects should do. We should know about them. We should be knowledgeable, but we're in the lab doing tests, unless we're physically like doing mock-ups and seeing how things perform with the tests, we shouldn't say that we're experts, right? So we rely on others. So here, these are some assemblies. Other companies, other companies like USG, which is an insulation um, drywall maker, because drywall is a fire rating component. They sell systems, and so they have proprietary systems and non-proprietary systems. And so they then, in this, they show you what's in the system. And if you look at the actual UL testing, they'll go into real crazy details of how you put it together, what are your options, because there truly are many, many options. Like, what is this? What is this? Like, there's like, let me show you how crazy it gets. Oh, do I have this password? I don't remember. Let me see. Okay, so this is one of the actual reports. So like here's a section, and they have different options, different ratings, and then they tag different elements. So four here is the outsidemost just right? You can see that. And then you scroll down, and then they say, okay, well actually four can have these items can do four. And if you want to do three hours, then you have these options before. And this one I can tell is paid by USG. These hours are based on how much material is. The intent of fire resistant hours is basically a number that you say there's a fire next door at a certain temperature. How safe are you in this room in terms of hours? Right. That's what safe is. So, yeah, and usually it's not like it's not real hours, it's just a nominal hour. And there are ways to nominally calculate, like this is 20 minutes and this is 20 minutes, and then you add this is 20 minutes and then you get 2 hours or 1 hour. And well, that's not like let's say you're going to keep an element like steel, that we cannot keep. So that part of it is seen in the process. So shortcut it. If it doesn't, like you can't fix it. You can't do math on real life. Like it's engineering, right? So that's why we do the best we can. We show the systems the best we can. And I just wanted to explain to you that there's a lot of different systems. But in general, what I have found for this type of project and type is having wall tag, the interior exterior differentiation, and then the rating and the stuff is the easiest to understand. So that's what we will be implementing across the board. So the purpose of this is the project comment is they wanted a tag on all of the. And you said it was a wall tag rating and stuff. It was a tag wall tag rating. They want. They just want us to tag them. So this is how I'm tagging. Just funky, like there's all. So, oh, and also that's because I didn't have a legend here. But once I have a legend, I think it'll be fine too. Um, That's probably not the right way of doing that. Should be a floor tag as well. But I think for this purpose, I do want to keep things simple. I don't want to have a crazy number of tags. We'll keep it here. And then they'll look at this and they'll understand this, and they'll understand this as well. And, yeah. All right. So as you can imagine, not all walls are going to be equal. Where it's egress, we have higher ratings. Um, where it's structural or critical, we have higher ratings. So you actually see here how I turn on the hash is a filter. So in Revit, remember all these little attributes. This is an instance attribute, which means it can be turned on and off for any element of this family. So it's the same wall here, because it's an exterior wall. It's this one here, it's an exterior wall. But it's only this element that I'm tagging as 1 hour 5. To be honest, I'm actually not sure if this needs to be 1 hour 5. So I'm going to put it in front of this one. Yeah, I'm going to draw this one. Why is this thicker than this one? Why is this thicker than that one? This is because in a way, this visually is not showing all the details I care about. Ah, see. Now I can see. It's thicker because it's wrong. There we go. That's what it should look like. Yeah. So there is a layer of resilient channel. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll flush it out. The GC could probably flush it out with another layer too. Basically, here it's not showing quite nicely, but the idea is you go in. There's a shear on one side and resilient channel on the other. And that's what achieves the 50. So that's, let me go back one more thing. So in addition to just firing, there's also sounding. And so that's where the 50 STC comes in. STC, sound transmission class. And then ISC is impact. What is ISC? Impact insulation class. ICC. Yeah, so that's the floor. The idea is that someone stomping on top of you is not going to be giving you that day. Or someone going up the stairs next to you is not going to give you that day. And so those are things that also impact how the wall is put together. What kind of extra elements, extra costs we need to put in to achieve this. All right, keeping it simple, that's kind of it. We'll need to be making some updates to just the section elements and stuff. So I also think that you wanted a note, which is exterior wall to receive insulation per 1024. And actual language is here. Translation 1024. So no loss control of the model. Okay, well, I'll put those in and then I'll share those with you. And I think that's good for the